and welcome back. Now let's take a look at a linked list example to see more C code and actually see what's going to happen. So let's actually play with this right now. So we saw structs before. Here's a struct node. So if you have a linked list, you have often a recursive data type, right? So this is a node that has a character, which is a pointer to a value, which is some word or something. Is a linked list node, okay? And you also have a next pointer, and the next pointer is struct node star next. That says it's a pointer to a struct node. So that means this could be a pointer to the next guy, and that's to the next guy. And then when it's null, that means you're at the end of that linked list. Beautiful, right? Let's do a typedef struct node star list. I can now say list, and what that means is going to be a pointer to a struct node. So a list new returns a pointer to a new guy, and that's going to be null. So that's a simple way to make a new empty list. Here's my code. Add a string to an existing, I got an existing list, okay? So list says, capital L list means that's a pointer to one of these nodes. It's gonna have, who knows how big that is. Char star string says this is the pointer to the string I wanna add. Okay, I'm not passing in the string itself, just a pointer to it. So this is great. A lot of storage for the linked list, a lot of storage for the string. These pointers are a very lightweight way to pass it into a function. First line says, struct node star node. I probably could have said list here. So list node equals, and this probably could have said list, this guy could say list malloc size of struct node. This makes a new node. Bloink, now I got a new node, okay? And node is that new guy. So let's do it. There's my linked list here. See this first guy, and now it points to the next guy, points to the next guy. Here it's only too long, but it's pretty cool. I made the new node. What's the contents of node? Remember, I have two fields in there. I've got a value and I've got a next. They're both garbage. They're both garbage. I made a new struct, but I don't initialize them. We know that, right? But now I'm going to set the first field. No, there's my arrow notation I mentioned before. You have a dot notation or arrow notation, which is a pointer based. So node to value says, follow that, go to that field for value, and you need to make room for the new string. So let's actually go forward. That's actually, so this is, now I'm on this line. That just finished, okay? Now, I need to make room for that new string. So node value is, find out how long, strlen means how long is it, but it doesn't include the null terminator. So if it's ABC, it'll say 3, because it's only A, B, and C. But you really need A, B, C, and the null terminator. So there's this extra +1 you always have when you kind of do these mallocs of strings. So string length of string is the ABC, there's the 3, +1 for the null, there's the 4. I'm going to reserve 4 if I'm going to copy ABC over. Okay? And I point to that uninitialized, that's again, uninitialized value. Then I call stir copy. Stir copy says, let's bring in that value, bring it over, and here's my A, B, C, and there's my whoops, let me do it here just so I look right. There's my \0 as my fourth guy, okay? So all 4 get copied over. A, B, C, and the 0 get copied over, so it does it right. And you better have enough room for the 0, as I mentioned before, okay? So I'm good. That's now my stir copy. Here we go, let's keep running. Node next is list. Watch this. Node next is list. List points to that. Node next, now it's called sharing. They point to the same list, okay? There's a node, there's a node, and there's a node. There's only 3 nodes now. But watch, when I return node, I'm now returning the head, I'm returning the head of the whole thing. And now I've just added ABC as the front of this list of strings. I've now added ABC to the front of that. Pretty cool. Does that make sense? The only thing I would change if I change again, this could have said list node equals list malloc size of struct node. But other than that, pretty cool code. I like it. Nice. So there's again, we're going to keep showing you examples of C code to get more fluent with how to do this. But here's an example of how to work with structs and pointers. See you at the next lecture.